star corner here on iBrand. We've had stars come shine with us, but I'm sitting here right now with a constellation. And what I mean is he's a star that has stars with him. He's made stars as well. I'm still in the business of making stars. I'm talking about none other. And then the boss of Sound Magic Records, I'm talking about El Stefano himself. Hello, sir. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
It's nice to have you in the studio.
Nice to be here with you guys.
All right, let us kick it off already. Sound Magic Records, SMR.
Yeah.
You are the guy behind the helm of affairs, running this and making sure young cats in the industry get the recognition that they deserve. You help people, musical artists, get into the limelight. It's actually a huge task, and I must give that to you. You know, taking it up, having worked with a couple of artists myself, I know that it is a lot of work dealing with individuals, but you're doing it with so much grace, and it has panned out well so far. But of course, we're going to get into all that in the course of the conversation. El Stefano, Sound Magic Records, how did this come about?
Okay, well, it came about, I think, about 2014.
Okay.
I started off as a pianist, a drummer, and a guitarist. So, being in the music industry, I saw the way it was for upcoming artists getting recognition and struggling with the whole entry into the music industry. So I had that idea. I spoke to like a friend of mine, like, how about we just help this artist? And I went about making inquiries on recordings, how to record, how much they pay, and I saw like it was a whole lot. So I was like, I think it's best I just create a studio and then try and help this artist. So hence that's the way Sound Magic came about. Yeah.
That's a good time. That's a good space of time to have, run this. And so far, what has it been like? Having people come through you, get what they deserve, what they require, and there's been no bad blood, no rare energy. You get where I'm coming from with that, because at some point in the Nigerian music industry, it was like village people were just after record labels. You want to say it that way. It was like there's always one trouble or another. And even the record labels that you think have their stuff together, they're always fighting with the artist is insubordinate, or the record label is not doing what they are supposed to. It's just one bickering after another. We haven't heard a lot of that with Sound Magic Records. How have you been able to manage all that energy?
Well, I think that's more of my own personality. I'm this kind of person that I'm not a drama person. I don't like the whole social media drama and all that. So whatever we go through, we try to resolve in-house. Now, obviously there will be trials and tribulations as a company. You just have to be able to be in that leadership position where you understand that things like this happen, or we just have to find a solution. So, obviously, God has been helping us.
I always do mention that Nigeria is sitting on billions of dollars industry. I'm talking about the music industry in Nigeria. It is huge. And of course, good looking out to everybody who has contributed to building this industry to the point where it is. I'm talking about record label bosses, producers, and even musicians who have been able to put their head down and get into the business proper. It is huge. But we have grown over time. Nigerian music 10 years ago is not what it used to be today. It has, in fact, I think it was sometime in October, November, I can't really remember. It was like back and forth. DJs were saying that music artists charging so much for performances that if a music artist doesn't want to come and perform for you, don't worry, I'll play it and sing it for you. And it cost a lot of uproar on social media. But being someone that I have to know these things because of the job that I do. I went on to do my research, and I found out that most of these artists are signed onto record labels, and they do owe some things to the record label that they are signed to. And while you try to balance all of that, as far as finances is concerned, you can probably understand why it costs so much to have some artists come perform. But can you walk us through what it's like, you know, having an artist under you and people are saying this type of thing about them, but they don't understand the inner workings of your house? Please walk us through it.
Okay, well, first off, it's not easy having one artist, not to talk of like multiple artists in the label. For like one artist, it will literally cost you least to promote one artist in a month. It will literally cost you millions of naira. So, and as a company, you will have to gain that money back. So, that's one of the reasons why charges are high. And with the current rate of the current cost of living, we all know that we're on the high side. So
it is.
Apparently, when you have an artist under you, you have to consider making the music, which costs separate money. Now, mixing and mastering also is a whole other level. Then you now start promoting, which is where the whole money is put in, the whole promotion, the whole getting people to listen to the music. Because it's one thing to have a music, it's another thing to like have people listen. And if you do not promote it right, it will just be like a waste. So imagine putting a whole lot of money into a project like that, and as a like record label owner, you will have to make your money back. I think that's one of the reasons why most of these labels are always having issues with their artists, because there's always like a signed agreement, like okay, you have to be within your, even if it's 1 year or 2 year contract, you have to be able to make this amount of money into the label, and if after that period of time we are not making that profit, it becomes a problem.
Oh, so it's usually stipulated.
Yes, actually.
And you bank on, as the record label owner, the boss, you bank on an individual. That's a lot of trust you put into people, by the way.
True.
Someone you haven't really, maybe you probably heard them perform or sing somewhere, and it's nice to you. And you put it. Oh my goodness, that's so eye-opening.
True.
That's so eye-opening. And then see, Nigerians, we are apology to record labels that we've called names in the past because we don't know what these people are going through. Oh, really? That's a lot of trust you put into someone that you haven't really worked with to even start with, and it turns out so ugly. Oh my God, we apologize. I make no vex again. Sorry. All right, let's take it further. Currently, you have artists under you who you've signed. And tell us about it. What has it been like with these young cats under you?
It's been an interesting journey. Having to see young ones that are vibrant and having much of those talents. I mean, sometimes it's mind blowing. I be in the studio as a record label owner. I'm also a producer. I produce the music too.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So I remember like about a month ago, I was in the studio with one of my artists, and he was composing, and I was just staring at him for almost like 30 minutes. Because the amount of talents these guys have, you just want to put it out there for people to listen to. And that's why I said putting in the work is not just it. The promo is what it is for us. Yeah. So for them, it's more like I have this talent, I need someone to sign me. But for us, it's more like we'll sign you, but we need to make the money. So there's a whole lot, but at the end of the day, thank God.
All right, now talking about because I heard you when you were narrating some certain things, and you said you need to put in a whole lot of millions to work on an artist, and you must make that money. First and foremost, I would like to ask, what are some of those structures that you as a record label put on ground to make sure that whatever investment you put on an artist, you're sure that you're going to make it? Because it looks more like a 50-50 thing. Like a gamble, you might not make it. You might make it. So for you not to have that investment go down the drain, so as not to put you off business, what are some of those structures you put on ground so that those who are listening right now will know what it actually takes you guys, to put your investment on them?
Okay. One of the structures where we put on ground is the whole marketing structure, where we know for certain that we definitely will have a return on a particular artist. Now, like I said, being an artist is not just it.
Sure.
Now, for me, investing in an artist, there are certain things that I have to look at in order for me to invest. That's why sometimes some artists will be like, they've been going for years, there's no label chasing them. Before I go into the industry as a label executive, I tried as an artist also to get contracts. I remember I walked into Chocolate City and they were like, we're full already. And I didn't blame them because I know the work they are having to put in. Now, structural wise, before it was more of this marketing where you get to give your hard copy to a marketer or a distributor.
And they listen to it.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, okay, we'll pay you so amount for this artist. But now the whole streaming platform has really helped. So if I'm investing in you, first I have to make sure that your sound is a sound that everybody is going to want to mess with. And me putting in my money, I'm already guaranteed that this sound, with the amount of investment I'm making, my manager used to say something that there's nothing that can sell as long as
it's well packaged.
Thank you.
All right.
So if I'm packaging you, I'm already knowing that this package I'm packaging has to get a return for me.
More like a calculated risk.
Exactly.
Now, talking about record deals, I know you as a label, you have several documents that has to do with record deals that you might want to sign with any artist. And of course, I know there are several kinds of record deals. We have the 50-50 record deal, we have the 360 record deal, we have the single record deal, we also have the production deal. Now, let me ask you as an executive, what deal do you think looks more like a win-win thing that you as an executive would want to advise an artist? Because of course, I know I've seen several artists sign deal with their executives, and in the end, they felt they were not, really, done so much good. So, but what do you think is best for this artist and also best for you as an executive?
Okay, thank you. Well, for artists that are looking to get signed, right, most of them are not patient enough that they jump into what I call a slave record deal, which is a slave and signing. And that's you not going through your contract. Well, you end up having a slave contract.
A slave contract.
Yeah. And a slave contract is where whatever you are making is nothing compared to whatever the label is making. It's more like they're having it by your hand. Exactly. Like, I had a boy that had a record deal in Ibadan, and he didn't give the right person to go through the contract. Out of excitement, he just signed. And literally, the only thing he got out of that contract was just 5 million, and that was a 5 years contract. 5 years contract for 5 million naira. So you have to at least go through the contract. Make sure you are not being cheated. Whenever I want to offer a contract, I make sure you go through it thoroughly and bring in your lawyer. Let him go through it also. Because the best deal I can offer you as a label is a 2 years contract.
Now, okay, what deal is that called? Before I hand you over to my colleague.
Okay. Now, it's more like the
with the 50-50?
60-40.
60-40.
And is also like a 50-50 deal based on the 40 goes to the artist, 60 goes to the label, but out of this 50, 10 goes to the artist manager. So it's still like a 50-50 deal.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that's more, more good, to
Exactly.
an artist.
Exactly.
I was going to ask a question, but I feel like I already have my answer. El Stefano, your heart is in a good place, and I think that is what matters for somebody who is going to be managing somebody's talent, something as important as somebody's talent. It's almost as if you have the person's life in your hand, and if you mismanage it, you would have to answer for that. It's beautiful that your heart is in a good place as a label boss, and it also goes to show in how you do your work. There's a video playing right now. You're just in the studio making music and enjoying yourself. You clearly enjoy what you do. But before I let you go, because our time is unfortunately up, you mentioned that you also produce music. Do you produce for every of your artists, or you also have producers in-house?
I have in-house producers. Most of our artists actually taught them production.
Oh.
Because it's one thing for you to sing, it's another thing for you to know how to record yourself. Because I'm not always going to be around to record you. And everyone around me knows me that I'm always, I think I'll call myself like a handyman. I like doing everything myself. Production, mix and master, video editing, everything. So I always impart that knowledge to my artists.
I hope they don't allow you to always do everything yourself. But that's how people burn out, especially with the amount of work that you already have.
That's why I always get to teach them to be able to do that. So I have in-house producers also, and I have mix and mastering engineers we get to work with. We get to use all those people.
It's beautiful having you in the studio today. Your record label, is it up on social media? Can people find you?
Yes, on Instagram. We are up on Instagram. You can check. Just follow at Sound Magic Records on Instagram. And I think it's on Twitter is at SMR17 on Twitter. So. Social media.
And your personal account, if you don't mind?
Yeah, on Instagram and Twitter is at @ElStefano_real.
Okay. Go ahead and find the boss himself at @Estefano_real. Also follow the social media handles of the record label itself. You might just be doing yourself good. This man has a good heart, and you might want to work with him. iBrandTV. Thank you so much, El Stefano. It was beautiful having this conversation with you. Very eye-opening. We hope to have you again sometime. The year is young. All right. While we look forward to more signings and major productions and good work coming forward, go ahead. Find SMR on social media, find El Stefano on social media, reach out. He's very open-minded. You guys might just strike it off. You never can tell.